How can we foster fellowship in the church in a practical way without it becoming a club?
Okay, very important. I would recommend to all of you to read a little booklet written by Zac Poonen called The Congregation, the Club, and the Church. There are three types of churches. One is only a congregation. The other is a club, like any other worldly club. The other is the real church of Jesus Christ. And it all depends on whether we have the two relationships in the cross, vertically with God and horizontally with each other. And that is written in 1 John chapter 1. By the way, if you want this booklet, it's on our website. If you go to cfcindia.com, cfcindia.com, you can read the book I just mentioned there freely. You can just download it and read it. But if you want a hard copy, please write to us. But coming to this question, in 1 John 1 to chapter 1, verses 1 to 3, it speaks about fellowship. In verse 3 especially, our fellowship is with the Father, that's the vertical arm of the cross, and his Son, Jesus Christ. And you have fellowship with us. That is the horizontal. That is true fellowship where a church is built. If you only have the vertical, and you say, I'm walking with the Lord, and there are a lot of people like that. They don't belong to any church. They're not committed to anybody. They have a good relationship with the Lord, but they are useless for God because the Lord wants to build a church. And they'll never get more light on themselves because we get light on ourselves by mingling with other people who are also walking with the Lord. And if you don't get light on yourself through others, it's through one another that we discover things in ourselves that is wrong. If you keep a distance from others, there'll be 101 things wrong in your life that you'll never discover. So we need fellowship with one another. At the same time, if you don't have this vertical relationship with Christ and you have only the horizontal one, it'll be a club where people gather in a club to play cards, people gather in a club to play tennis, people gather in a club to play golf, and people gather in a club to read the Bible, to sing songs, to have praise songs and worship songs, and listen to messages. It's a club. And they care for one another, they help one another. If somebody's in need, they'll help them. And if they need to shift their residence, the people will go around to help them. It's a club. And they think we love one another. Great. But are you getting closer and closer to the Lord in your daily walk with the Lord? If all the people in that church are not getting closer and closer to the Lord in their daily walk with the Lord, then it is a club. It is the vertical. When you make a cross, you start with the vertical, then the horizontal. So the vertical relationship with Christ must come first. And that must be there all the time, walking with the Lord, denying yourself, taking up the cross, and then the horizontal relationship with one another. That's the way we protect. So the emphasis in a church must always be on that vertical, followed by the horizontal. And you read that very clearly in 1 John. He talks about our fellowship is with the Father, and you have fellowship with us. And we love God, and we have to love one another. The first commandment is not love your neighbor as yourself. The first commandment is love God with all your heart. Then love your neighbor as yourself. So the arms of the cross are even there. So that is how we prevent a church from becoming a club.